everybody. Nice to be with you again once more for this podcast between myself, Steve Costello, and my colleague over there in Ireland, Leo Farberg. Hello,
Hello.
Leo.
Hello,
So,
Steve.
what are we going to talk about? What are we talking about today? What are we going to be talking about today? Change what we can, but let's not fight the things we can't change. Just have a think about that just for a few seconds. Just let it flow. Change what we can, and don't fight the things that we can't change. Why not? Why shouldn't we fight the stuff that seems to be difficult to change? Is it giving up if we don't fight it? So, what do you think, Leo?
Well, probably the most challenging thing here is are you sure you cannot change something? And we're all brought up in this ideology that fight for it, do it, push it through, just get out of your comfort zone, and so they bring but there are things that you cannot change, and so this brings some controversy in our minds when we actually try to change things, because we kind of brought up to believe that we have some power, and at the same time not everywhere how to define where it is a place we can fight for something and get the result, or will it be just the waste of energy, waste of time, wealth, waste of self-esteem, because and it hurts when you realize that you cannot change anything.
Absolutely. I think that's a big one relating to self-esteem. Let's use an example. So somebody is looking for work. They're highly qualified and experienced in the things that they do. But yet, each time they get an interview, they're not getting the job. The reaction that comes from that is clearly I'm not good enough. They don't like me. Lots of negative phrases pop out. And then we start to look at those negativities, those phrases, I'm not good enough, all of those things. And what happens over time, you lose confidence, you lose self-esteem. And then it becomes more and more difficult as you apply for more jobs. If you get an interview, surely it must show at the interview situation that you're not feeling on top of the world, that your self-esteem has taken some hit. That comes across to anybody who's experienced in interviewing other people. So it's kind of a vicious circle, isn't it? And one that's difficult to get out of. So what can we do about it?
In my work and in my experience, personal experience, I think there are some things that we can actually do, because one thing is really to define uh, what's possible to change it, what's not. Uh, and mostly what is possible to change is it lies within our own field, in our own personality, in our own challenges, or vice versa, uh, you know, priorities, good sides, you know. And even if we think that we can make a better impression at somebody, or convince somebody, or change the policies, uh, it's the first place to start. And taking care is our own, what's within ourselves.
Yeah.
And another thing that I probably mentioned is that personality and professional skills and qualities are a little bit different things. So professional qualities may be suitable or not suitable, but personally, you are what you are and who you are. And if you care more about yourself as a person, and then see whether your professional skills or traits suit the employer, let's say, or not, it makes it a bit different. in your perception.
Yeah, absolutely. And what just popped into mind was square peg, round hole. So the individual is a square peg trying to fit themselves into this environment that maybe they don't actually fit. So sometimes we've got to be self-aware enough to know whether we are able to fit into that environment or not. But one of the other things that we've not really touched on so far, and we're trying to keep this short, ladies and gentlemen, so otherwise we'll be here all day, is that a thing about validation. Many people seek validation from outside sources. It might be partners, it might be friends, it might be other family members.
Mhm.
There's a ton of places that this validation can come from. External validation from personal relationships can help us to reinforce a positive identity, a positive work identity. So external validation is quite important. So if we find ourselves isolated without anybody to talk to, it's going to be very difficult to find this external validation. So we need to encourage ways for people to actually go out and find that. One of the interesting things is that quite often people say, what, in my experience from my work experiences, people say, what is wrong with me? Why can't I get a job? I must be broken. Something's not right. But it's not always about that, is it? Sometimes it's the opposite. You just don't happen to be the person that that employer needs. And they found somebody who fits their bill better than you do. That's nothing personal. It feels personal. It feels frustrating when you didn't get the job because you need to earn the money, all of that stuff. But it's not meant to be personal. So let's have a think about. I just want to talk for a really quick minute about positive psychology and talking about positivity. So there's a theory in positive psychology that little positive events in our lives need to be built upon. Professor Barbara Fredrickson talked about this as a broaden and build theory. So we have a little positive experience and we keep hold of it. And then we look for another one, we have another one, and we keep hold of it. And we keep building on these positive experiences. So positivity is not about saying, think positive, think positively, because it's going to be good. That's not how it works. But we collect these small positive experiences and they build, they broaden, they build, they broaden, and they build. And that helps us. It helps with our confidence. It helps with our self-esteem and all of those things. But on the other side of the coin, the same is true of negativity, negative experiences. We broaden and build those too. So if we dwell too much on the negatives, where are we going to go? We're going to go down. And that's not where we need to be, especially if we're in the job market. We need to be up there and ready to accept whatever comes. So Leo, would you like to, after that little rant, would you like to finish off for today?
I think, as usual, we are opening a big topic, an important one, because right now we're more and more dependent of this external validation, but not in the positive sense, because we compare ourselves to others. We bear this idea about like get a goal and push yourself towards the goal. For example, like getting a job, like I would also advise to ask yourself, do you really want this job? Because you need a job to make money and to have a field where you could express all your professional qualities. But at the same time, is this the job you want? Because if you're fixated on the idea that I was denied after this interview and they think I am bad, probably I am not good enough or something. It's do I really want this job? It's another thing. And so this is very important to build up your own uh, picture of yourself and and you're getting your own identity and valuing your own identity, because you are what you are. There are many jobs, but you are the only one in this job market.
Yeah, absolutely.
And bringing up a positive picture of yourself and also adequate picture. Okay, this is where I am good at and I know it. And other things you can learn.
Yeah, absolutely. So we can change the things that are within our control.
Mhm.
We don't need to ignore the things that we would like to change but can't. We need to look at them, we need to understand them, but we need to focus on change that can be changed.
And we will need to learn how to build up our resilience in the face of adversity, because there will be adversity. This is just the nature of life.
It is what it
But
is.
resilience is something you own and you build up, and you can use it for going forward.
Yeah. So, as usual, if you've got a comment, don't hesitate to leave one. If you would like or prefer to send a direct message, and many people do, that is also very much okay. So, do leave messages, do leave comments, whatever you need to do to get in touch, do it. And we will speak to you, we will support you, we can guide you. But you have to do the work ultimately. Don't forget. Have a
This
brilliant
is
day,
something you
everybody.
can control.
Yeah,
Sorry, this is something you have control over,
that's
working on
something you have
yourself.
control of. Absolutely. Have a brilliant week, everybody. We'll see you again
Yeah,
really
see you
soon.
again.